Go.
Yo, guys, it's the Football Den. Welcome to a very, very new, fresh weekly section that we have for you guys here, and that is called Three Things We Learned from the Previous Week. So it's not like your engineering classes where you come Monday morning and you get a revision done from your professor about the three things that you learned the previous week. A more fun, more engaging section where we get to talk freely about certain teams, certain events that happened in the previous week, certain controversies like United's handball, certain winning streaks that are just not ending like Man City, and then of course the London clubs that will always act like London clubs. So let's just get into it and start with Man City. So what did you learn, Pathare, about Man City this week?
So this week, the first thing I learned was Aguero's bad. Yeah, but Pep chose to switch him for Jesus instead of Sterling, which was surprising. But then both of them have pretty equally bad finishing, so it is not much of a difference.
Yeah, I would agree on that front.
And as for the skepticism about De Bruyne was concerned, he performed pretty well. He could have done better, but he was still pretty well, and I think he looked better than before he went.
Okay, some bold statements there. What about you, Karan?
There were better things to learn from that great game, Pathare, but okay.
Exactly.
So I'm learning from an FPL perspective.
Even from an FPL perspective, either way. So, one thing that I learned was that they do not lack goal scorers. City has players in every position that can just show up and score some goals. Ruben Diaz and John Stones scoring the 2 goals.
Man.
Who would have expected
that? Because, like the West Ham game was so cagey, and I was like, fuck, man, these guys are trying their best, but I can't see them trying to break through. And out of nowhere, these two centre backs, and even for the first one, like either Stone, if Diaz would have missed it, Stones was there to take that chance. So a pretty dynamic team, I would say, which Pep is known for, to be honest. But we hadn't seen much of it last year, and they're fucking back, man. They're back.
And the other thing was that they have a 500 milli bench. And that says it all, doesn't it? I mean, those 9 players could beat a 11-man Premier League team on a good day. So
I mean, what's surprising is that City managed to keep them without complaints.
Yeah, that's true. See, when you have a manager as good as Pep and you trust his tactics, I don't think there is too much complaining in the dressing room because and with the quality of players they have, that you have to take your chances, and sooner or later you will get a chance to prove yourself. So I don't think there should be any complaints in the dressing room.
But I would like giving an example of a previous Shaw starter, Nathan Ake. He moved here and then he's nowhere to be seen.
Well, I mean,
injured. He's been injured, man. It's not like he's victim to the Pep Rule. And I think Pep Rule also ensures that everyone's getting equal chances.
My point is, even if he comes back from injury, given this current duo, it's very unlikely that he's going to start. He'll probably get a few chances, but when he comes from playing each game in week in, week out, and then you just play 5, 6 games, 10 games a season because you have such competition. So it's a great thing that there are players willing to play like that.
I mean,
but tell me something. Mm-hmm. Tell me something. How many championship winning sides have players that are complaining? I mean, the year Liverpool was winning with ease, I didn't hear anyone complaining, especially their manager. When Leicester won that season, I mean, okay, Leicester is an exception, but still, you don't hear any of the players complaining that, oh, my side won the title, but I didn't get to play a part in that. So when you're competing on all fronts, I don't think that friction is there as much as there in other teams.
That's true. Like, if your team is not performing and you have people to blame in certain positions, then you can maybe say that, maybe I deserve a chance in that position, and that's where the conflict rises. But if your team is doing well, what are you gonna say to the manager, man? Like, he's performing well, but I deserve my chance. Like, what? That wouldn't make
So we
sense, right?
basically learned what we already knew about City, just reconfirming that City is back on top. They have the players to win Premier League with both their A and their B team. And that's about it. They're just running away with the title. So from one Manchester to another, there is a bit of a, not a bit actually, it's a drastic difference, right? Between these two teams. One has a total identity, total football, you know what they're about, and the other one just fucking confuses me. So, Patare, did you get to watch United Chelsea?
Yeah, I did actually watch, and I think the biggest problem with them is consistency. So, like we discussed before the video, also that these guys they have the winning potential, but you don't know which United is going to turn up for the game. It could be a side that could thrash you final. It could be a side that is going to lose 3-0.
Well, just to reply to that, I would like to say, okay, I agree to the part where they're inconsistent against the.
Bro, you're not in a GD for a KPMG job.
No, but just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Just I would like to say, just throw it in his fucking face, man.
So inconsistent when it comes to the smaller teams, but we have been consistently dropping points against the traditional big six, right, this season. So I don't think there's any consistency lacking there. Yeah, we've either lost or drawn. One goal.
By Ole.
Sorry?
To like go. Is it a deliberate attempt by Ole to go into these games and scope for a draw more than anything?
Sure, looks like it. All that's on his mind is that he doesn't want the L, and that seems to be the way things are going right now. You can't be complaining about a handball for not winning a game like this. Okay, I mean, fine. Okay, it was a handball. I give them that, but you got to be creating more chances than just that, man.
Okay, so let me just play a devil's advocate here, because I know many people believe it to be a bit biased towards Manchester United. So let me just throw this out there. Of course, as a purist, you don't want to be seeing that given, right? I mean, come on, that fucking barely changed the direction of the ball or whatever the direction of the game. But it would change the direction of the game drastically. So while watching that, I was kind of happy that, okay, this is not given, even though I support United. But I fucking hated it from a Bruno Fernandes captain perspective in the EPL. But that's beside the point. So I think it wasn't a penalty, but personally, I mean, we all as football purists know it wasn't a penalty, right? Come on, that can't be a penalty. But how do you think can the consistency in fucking refereeing needs to change?
Exactly. So I was going to come to this is that it was a proper call that the handball wasn't given, but I wouldn't call it good refereeing, because on another day, maybe another referee would have definitely given it. The inconsistency of the PL refs, and even the same refs giving different calls in different games because of the pressure is just it's disappointing.
It's hurting the fucking FPL managers, man. Why don't they understand that?
Yeah, well, human error is part and parcel of the game, but it shouldn't happen when you have VAR. And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, not unless VAR becomes completely automated, okay, you just let the computer decide once it's going to the VAR. Then you can't.
The point of VAR is to eliminate the human error, and these guys are just creating more problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think with our news section, we haven't really discovered anything new. We already knew City was great, and we know United
is. We already knew VAR is shit.
And we know VAR is shit, yeah. So let's just leave these Manchester teams aside.
No, not yet. I would like to slander Mr. Ole here. He cannot be playing McFred in all the games that matter. You need Van de Beek on the pitch. You need... Okay, I understand that, Martial hasn't been up to it and all of that. So give Amar the chance. I don't want to see Dan James anywhere close to that pitch, man. Okay, he scored a couple of Gs. Fuck no.
Given his current form and...
form? He's not United material. Period.
And you think Ahmad is... You haven't even seen jack shit of Ahmad, man. Come on.
I sure as hell don't want to see any more of this dude.
He fucking roams around like a headless chicken, man, honestly. Even the game last night, it was funny as fuck to watch him, chase down that right flank, United's right flank. Oh my god, it's funny. But I mean, Martial definitely doesn't deserve to be starting at the moment. I think Cavani is out injured or something.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm not
That's okay.
sure what's the matter with him. So I think that Ole did try to put a strong lineup, but when you say that you don't want Fred and you don't want McTominay, bro, have you seen the fucking defense?
Oh,
Yeah, well, okay, you know what? As long as Bailly is fit, just play him, man. We all know he's a better centre back pairing with either Maguire or Lindelof, considering he's got the pace. Why do you play a low block against Giroud? You just play a high line and they're not getting behind you, man. Low block against Giroud is like, you're inviting him to come score goals.
But there's the thing, like Fred and McSauce are acting as dummy centre backs to fucking ensure that United is not getting got at, and especially it's happening in the big supposedly big games. So yeah, you're right about Ole not going for it, but does he really have to go for it, Patare? Like, what's the point? Like, does he really need to?
Yeah, I think he's maybe playing that kind of game on purpose against the big six, and which is why we need Fred and Scott to play together, because given United's defense, he doesn't want to be caught out with playing more attacking players. That's the problem with the small teams. You can manage it somehow. But
so is that what we've become?
Liverpool.
Have we dropped our standards to settling for second and just drawing against the big teams? What happened to?
It's not settling for seconds, but this dude's been here only for 1.5 years. He's building. Klopp took 4 years and he still doesn't have a good second B team.
Well, if you're building, you experiment. You don't sit on your ass with Maguire and Lindelof playing as centre backs and Fred and McTominay going and defending them.
So given United's manager history, a guy coming from Molde has to first solidify his position. And the second for United in the Premier League is a step up for him. And I definitely see United performing better than the previous season. So I don't have much complaints about him. And maybe next season, if he gets in a couple of transfers or if he gets in the squad in the right mindset, he will definitely try to attack the big six also. Because there's this mindset developed in the players as well, I think, that's pressuring them.
Well, yeah.
Until that eases out, I mean, you can give like hundreds of tactics, but the players need to perform.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I get it. There has been an improvement, but not all progress is good enough, I would say. Like right now, we're walking in a marathon. You got to sprint, man. Like, come on. You can't just keep walking.
I don't think that is essentially true. Because now let's switch the perspective. I think it's enough about United. Let's switch the perspective to Chelsea and think about what Tuchel is trying to do, right? He's trying to steady the ship. He's also playing that pragmatic style. He did that against Atletico. He's been doing it again. He's been doing it in the Premier League. It's not that he hasn't been doing that. So I think he himself is also trying to solidify his position and steady the ship a bit. It's just that when it comes to United, it's a long ass period of solidifying studying the ship because it was so wobbly. But when it comes to Chelsea, I think Tuchel has pretty much turned it around pretty well, and I do see them finishing in the top 4 by hook or by crook, and it doesn't have to be pretty, to be honest.
Yeah, with Chelsea, it's never been pretty. Neither the titles or the top 4 finishes.
Oh, come on, bro! That Hazard's beautiful switcheroos and turning in, scoring those G's. Come on, Hazard had brought some grace about Chelsea, and even before that, we're talking about Super Frankie. We're talking about Didier Drogba. Come on.
No, but I'm just saying they weren't comfortable Premier League victories. Like, they didn't win by margins.
Oh, Conte? Come on, under Mourinho?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
but you're right, actually. Those were not the prettiest sights, to be honest.
Exactly.
And they did win.
Yep, they did get the result. And that's what matters, right? That's what I'm talking about. You gotta grind for those results. You can't sit on your ass.
Tuchel is looking to build upon that similar strategy when it comes to Chelsea. And, giving them that solid mentality and going in every game, fighting hard and stuff like that. Is that what's going to work in the London club's favor now?
I mean, he knows for a fact, he knows the history that Chelsea has with their managers. So he knows that he needs to get that ship steady as quick as possible because, otherwise in a year he'll be out of a job. So that's how it is for Chelsea. And they have some quality young players. And hopefully, like you said, it works in their favor. And, Tuchel is able to make them a better team than they were under Frank.
So I would definitely, I feel that he will definitely be a better manager than Frank. But is he good enough? Chelsea, they seem decent at the moment. They don't seem like a great club under him, like as yet.
So, been 5-6 games.
I know. I know. I'm not saying that he's not a good manager. I'm just saying we need to see more games from Chelsea, and maybe they can show us some more impressive football in the future.
Okay, so from not being so impressive to being super impressive for one fucking game, let's talk about Uncle Mo. Every time Uncle Mo's team does something, I'm just in the mood to fucking pump him up back to his original status. But we all know that's not the reality now, and we can't do it. But a small glimmer of hope in Gareth Bale's performance, I would say, when it comes to Tottenham.
Yeah, he was impressive. He was impressive for sure. That
he was the man of the hour.
Yeah, wow, what a goal, man. And the first one, he made a brilliant run. The second one was just brilliant. Like, Nick Pope had no chance in any of those goals, I would say. Yeah. So I feel bad for him. But yeah, they did play some attacking football. They had Son, Mora, Kane, Bale, which felt good. It felt like maybe Mourinho was ready to take the chance and play some attacking football for a change. So that was a good sign for me. Let's see if they can, keep riding that wave. What do you think, Rohit?
So this is what I was saying in our preview video last week, that if Spurs have to prove themselves now, and they proved themselves pretty well. Now, let's see if they can keep the consistency. And like I mentioned previously, that they were in a good form because they were playing attacking football, which is what we saw in this game against Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
So now if Gareth Bale can become a sure starter for them, then they'll have 3 great attacking players in their team, and Mora to assist. So they could get a top 4 spot, I would say, if they continue to play well.
I think that's going too far. Because bro, you know the thing with Bale, right? He's smiling when he's on the bench. He's happy to just be there. It's like two months of his
vacation. Exactly. Consistency is another problem here. Consistency is the problem here. If they can be consistent, is what I'm saying. They could get a top 4 spot.
Well, at least we did learn that there is a small glimmer of hope for Tottenham to make it to the top 4, only if their talisman Kane is at it again. And let's not forget Son. Fucking brilliant performance, man. When these two are combining, it's to be honest, it's as close to City as Tottenham can get when Kane and Son are combining, because it's just fucking telepathic. So that is something that I enjoy watching when it comes to these two. But yeah, I think Tottenham cannot turn it around, in my opinion. Like, this is just a one-off, to be honest. So one-offs. What does one-off remind me of again? Leicester losing to Arsenal. A fucking strange result, man. What the fuck happened there?
That was unexpected, totally. And I mean, Barnes getting injured, that was a terrible thing for my FPL as well.
We'll do that tomorrow, don't worry.
Oh god, this guy's just here to fucking.
Yeah, no, so
you'll get a chance, don't worry. Let's just let our viewers know what we learned from the Arsenal and Leicester game. So, Karan, what blew you away about this game? Because there were many facets about it for me.
Well, Leicester was obviously depleted. Secondly, other than David Luiz's goal, all the other Arsenal, like two other Arsenal goals were crap. Like I wouldn't rate them really. They got lucky, and they got away with it. But
That's
Leicester on
exactly, man. Fuck.
yeah, and Leicester on the other hand didn't look as threatening without the likes of Madison and Pryatt, if I'm not wrong. Both of their attacking midfielders who provide the link up play between the midfield and the attack weren't there, and you could clearly see the gap there. Barnes, well, unlucky for him. And you can see that, Leicester are missing a few players, but, well, they're not complaining. They're just moving on with it. And for
This is
Arsenal,
what I really wanted to talk about. The biggest thing that blew me away from this game was an ex-Liverpool manager of some sorts did not take the same approach as the current Liverpool manager. And I find it quite shocking, to be honest, because I thought it was ingrained in the DNA of the club, but apparently not. Apparently not. So it's just one guy, guys.
But yeah, let's get back to the game. Arsenal got lucky. I mean, great, they got their 3 points, but they don't look convincing at all.
I can already feel the hatred in a few Arsenal fans' veins that are going to come at you on Instagram, hopefully.
Come at
guys,
me.
it's at the rate Karan Ruparel 97 for your information. Who's saying that you guys just got lucky.
Yeah, dude. Like, come on. Like, fuck. Arsenal is pathetic. I don't even know where to start with that, man. Like, Aubameyang.
Come on, you have to give them some credit to beat Leicester, right? Because their defense wasn't depleted, to be honest. They were, their defensive prowess was still there. And just because their attackers weren't there doesn't mean that they have the liberty to concede 3 goals.
They got lucky, man. They got lucky.
That defense wasn't great either. That because currently Evans, who's the main defender, has an injury, and he's been holding on to that for a while now. So when you have a midfield that's depleted, you're going to have less chances and you're more prone to attack, and that's why the defense also got caught up.
Well, I wouldn't even say they got caught out. They were just lucky. That's all I'm going to say. The third goal that Pepe scored.
The third time he said that, man.
Because that's what it is. I can't find any other words for that performance. It's just so disappointing to see Leicester lose to Arsenal. I mean, it's disappointing to see any team lose to Arsenal, honestly, but a good Leicester side.
You remember the 1-0 at Old Trafford? I think it was, or at Emirates? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh God! Like, I mean, you see, United, I don't expect much right now when it comes to the top 6 because, well, they have shown some consistency there, like we spoke.
This is a very inconsistent opinion of you, Karan, because when you say that Dan James doesn't deserve to play at United, I think you're comparing all the United players currently to probably the Fergie era, and I would say that more than half the team doesn't stand up to that. I would say
they don't even stand up to the team under Mourinho, man. I feel like fucking the team that we had under Mourinho was far better, on paper at least, with Zlatan, Lukaku, and those guys.
Come on, do not forget Fellaini.
Oh yeah, of course.
Let's start.
But yeah, let's just recap what we have learned this week. So we all knew what City is about, and we continue to see that. We know what the other side of Manchester looks like, dazed and confused. And of course, the London clubs. I think that's going to be a good battle for the London clubs for the Europa League. Don't you guys think?
For sure.
So
Looking forward.
That's something to watch out for. And I peg Chelsea to maybe come out of it as the winners. So we'll see how the next week goes. So any more thoughts or comments to add, guys, before we just wrap up?
Yeah, so soon we're gonna put out a poll and y'all can DM us your final FPL scores, and whoever has the final score will be joining us.
Everyone will have a final score.
What do you mean?
No, I mean who has the greatest highest final score will be joining us on the next week's FPL guide.
Okay. I better send mine as well, and I hope I'm there. Otherwise, I'll be replaced, motherfuckers. I don't want that to happen. So yeah, do DM us. We've put Karan, I hope you have put the Instagram link in the description. So check that out, and we'll see you on the next one.